session. We are deeply honored to have among us today with our chief guest, Dr. A.K.M. Waresul Karim, Professor of Accounting and Finance and Dean of the School of Business and Economics at North-South University. He earned his PhD in Corporate Financial Reporting from the University of Leeds. He also holds MCom and BCom from Dhaka University in Finance. Under his leadership, North-South University's Business School holds ACBSP accreditation and is ranked among the top 401 and 450 schools globally in business and management studies. Sir, your presence today reinforces the importance of this conversation. We're grateful to have you with us. Among the panelists, I also like to introduce the panelists. Among the panelists, we have with us Dr. Syed, Mortuza, Asif, Ehsan, Associate Professor and Chairperson, Department of Economics, School of Business and Economics, North-South University. And also we have with us Dr. Ziaul Adnan, Associate Professor and Chair, Department of Management, North-South University. And Dr. Mizanur Rahman will join with us through online. He is an expert of digital integration with the Australian Government's Revenue Department. He is joining with us from Australia. Before we move into the presentation, I want to give a brief description about Emerging Credit Rating Limited. You know, Emerging Credit Rating is currently leading credit rating agency in Bangladesh. We started our journey in 2008. The last year, we celebrated our 15-year ceremony. After started our journey, we achieved our license at credit rating agency from Bangladesh Securities Exchange and Commission in 2010. In the same year, we also got accreditation from Bangladesh Bank as external credit rating agency under Basel III. We have also a technical collaboration with Malaysian Rating Corporation Berhad, which is ultimately related with rating. And after that, we are also accredited by regulatory authority like IDRA, and we are also a member of ECRL, an association of credit rating agencies in Asian region. Until so far, we have completed more than 70,000 credit rating, and yes, this is first of this kind. This seminar is first of this kind, and we are hopeful that in the future we will continue to arrange this type of seminar so that we can make an impactful impact in the economy of Bangladesh. Now, I want to invite our chairman, Dr. Jamaluddin Ahmed. He's our chairman of Emerging Credit Rating Limited. He was a former president of ICAB, and by profession, he's a chartered accountant, a veteran chartered accountant, and he has expertise in tax administration, public policy, and economic governance across South Asia. So, sir, floor is yours. Would you please start your presentation?
Thank you. I think it was a very difficult journey for me to prepare this paper, because Bangladesh, that's why I have given this from analog to digital. Almost in South Asia, most of the countries there, Nepal, they are almost 100% compliant with the digital revenue system. So I thought that we should start something, talking. point, to raise a point that Bangladesh also needs. In our estimate, I was the General Secretary of the Economic Association. Since 2015, we started preparing the national budget of alternate budget, what government gives and what we Economic Association thinks. And I proposed that, okay, we want to do it. Then we started the journey. There, 10 years, last 10 years, we have done that job. Now I am not in the Economic Association leadership, so new leadership will, I think they will do that. One thing is that we found that in the introduction, if we say that what should be the optimum budget size of Bangladesh, we have been calculating, and you see, we are the tax GDP, lowest tax GDP ratio in South Asia. Lowest. We should not, if we say the figure or percentage, then it is shameful. But the way economy is growing, and in our opinion, in our opinion, we have now more than 4 crore SSC who can pay tax. It is our assumption. Based on that, we have calculated this. Later on, it's said that the government budget to sensitize the government of Bangladesh that this small budget cannot meet the requirements of the 20 crore people. It cannot. We have got the businesses developed in different areas. And Bangladesh economy since 1991, when it was an opposition movement for Bangladesh, 2 major political parties, they were in one single point, they were united. Number one, that single point is the parliamentary system of government. It is the 2 political parties agrees. And there was a difference between the economic philosophy of the government. And that also political economy has changed, philosophy has changed. Based on that, our calculation now, we can see that there is a huge prospect. Even what size of the budget is now near to 8 lakh crore, near. But it should be 3 times higher in our calculation. And that is possible. Once you digitalize, once you raise the tax, down the tax rate and VAT, the rationalization. Once you do that, in that case, you will proceed. For that, the wave of digitalization, that's why my title is The Journey from Analog to Digital. This paper is based on the presentation prepared for this seminar by Emerging Rating Credit Rating Limited, and the title of the paper is you see that the journey from analog to digital, a rationale. What is the economic justification? What is our preparation? What is technological need? What software we should use? And what legal reform we need in the tax department? We will discuss today in this seminar. The journey of the fiscal reform is framed by the timeless wisdom and modern imperatives. Scholars throughout the history have recognized the profound link between nations' fiscal health and the social stability. We are a socially unstable country now we are facing. We will be facing more if we do not sort out this thing. And that the objective of this paper, the primary objective of this paper is to explain the objective of the primary objective is to explain the economics of digitalizing national revenue system to improve the revenue collection and foster the economic growth, with Bangladesh as the central case study. The paper will explore how automation and digitalization can enhance the efficiency of the financial systems and promote inclusive growth. To achieve this, it is critical to understand the evolving digital technology ecosystem, and then the data regulations impact on society and the new business models driven by the digital transformation of which all of which have profound implication for the public policy. If we start from the section 1, this section provides the review of the global context, global tax digitalization context we have documented in this paper. The rise of principles of value-added tax. Value-added tax first introduced in France, 1954. Value-added tax, and it was popularized by the one German businessman with Wilhelm von Siemens, and implemented in France in 1954. The adoption has rapid and widespread, with 141 countries having implemented to date. The principles of VAT, the success of VAT is rooted in principle, a key principle including the equity, fairness, certainty, convenience, payment, economy of collection, simplicity, neutrality, transparency, and the ability to support economic growth. Global adoption trends. The rate of adoption accelerated significantly after 1990, with 67 countries implementing VAT between 1991 to 2000, year 2000, and Bangladesh in 1991. VAT in Asia, a table is here. The Asian nations shows that the various implementation timetables and rates. Bangladesh introduced in 1991 with a current rate of 15%. In contrast, Singapore introduced 1993 3%, now at 7%, while Indonesia maintained 10% rate since 1984. And the indirect tax revenue. Data from IMF shows that for many middle income countries, domestic indirect taxes form substantial portion of total tax revenue. For Bangladesh in 1997, the figure was 36%. And while still it is like that nearby. But the countries like El Salvador, it was as 57.42%. I have got more details in the main papers. Now we are coming to the disruptive technological environment. If we want to make a country digital, what we need to do that? For this, the revenue bodies today operate with complex and disruptive technological environment. In a 2016 diagram from the Australian Tax Office, ATO, illustrates this ecosystem, placing the revenue body and the center at the center of interconnected forces. These includes foundational technologies like cloud computing and big data, transactional systems like e-invoicing and the payment systems, and the emerging innovations such as the Internet of Things, blockchain, artificial intelligence. This environment also includes the new communication channels like social media and mobile apps, and the advanced concepts like biometrics, smart contracts, and the real-time analytics. This wave of technology creates new service for expectation from the taxpayers and demand the whole government approach data security. The evaluation of the tax analysis. The field of tax administration is undergoing a fundamental shift. And this is undergoing, this is the traditional research and to advanced analytics. Evaluation of the timeline, this process has evolved that it is 1800 to 1970, then 1970 to 2010, and 2015 to current date. And this is the number one, the book and journal reports, loose-leaf publications, and from 1970 to 2020, CDs and DVDs, online database, mobile apps. And then now it is going to the predictive analysis, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Next one is the framework for digital tax administration. For running the show, you will have to have an organized force, and you will have to reorganize your National Board of Revenue according to the requirement of the digital requirement, unless you cannot move. Because in my paper, actually, the deeper I enter in area, I become confused. Confused because Bangladesh is not ready for that. Bangladesh should prepare itself the ICT infrastructure and all levels, rules and regulations, everything should be and with capable manpower. It requires the first thing is needed that we should develop model, the capability and maturity models. And then stage one is the emerging and unaware. Now we are at a stage characterized by the weak accounting practice, low digital literacy, lack of legal support for the electronic transaction, siloed tax department, and unreliable ICT infrastructures. This is our limitation. So stage two, interactive and transitioning. The business began use to computers and internet. Case law supports e-transaction, and the tax administration is organized by an action high-speed internet becoming more available in urban centers, not across the country. We cannot provide that. This is needed. Stage three, advanced and achieving. Electronic records are the norms of business and are fully adapted to digital interactions. Comprehensive legislation in place, and the tax administration operates fully functional, integrated model. High-speed internet is broadly available. High-speed internet in our country is not broadly available. And 3G, 4G, 5G. So in this area, even in Dhaka city, you will not find the 4G equally across the country. Across the country, you cannot. Even in the Dhaka central gravity city, it's a business district. That business district does not have the equally. If you enter in some area, you will get 3G. Some area you go, it is 4G. Some area it is less than both. A similar model characterizes the maturity level of unaware, awakening, paused, and solid assessing them based on presence of the self-assessment provision. Internationally, in other countries where they made it electronic payment, real-time settlement, and they are paying. Australia is example, Taiwan, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, everybody, even in India, 67%. You will get later on, we have, India has more crossed 65%. So these are our logistical problems. Digital maturity mixed inter-American, there are some examples. Also, Inter-American Development Bank, their Center of Tax Administration has developed specific models assessing the digital maturity. How we assess the digital maturity of a country? Give up tax department, but in other departments also. If we cannot achieve that maturity, in that case, if we enter in detail, we become very frustrated, because our country, we could not develop that. It is very, very, you will see, SCAF has a study, later on we will show. Digital maturity models, this model scores maturity from 1 to 4, leading. It is based on the parameters clustered into 3 areas. 1, digital environment, national policy, internet access to digital ID. Digital, in our country, digital ID, I think it is not still complete. And we need biometrics ID. Biometric, in that case, it will fulfill the interconnectivity, for interconnectivity. Skills, we need skill there. Then funding, data management, and digital products and services portals, pre-populated returns. You see, returns, or electronically we can submit the returns. It is structured in that way. In that case, you need e-invoice, electronic invoice. In that case, they will send me, say for example, if I make any transaction with Bikash, they send me a receipt later on. If I pay electricity bill, this means when I pay my tax, they will send me a receipt. This is my document. So electronic, biometric. So these are the issues. Actually, then Ernst & Young done a study in 2017. They proposed that electronic file, standardized electronic forms for tax return. Then e-accounting, submission of source data, invoices, trial balance, and support filings. Then matching for government access to additional third-party data, bank statement, and matches the across tax type, tax, wealth tax, personal tax, corporate tax, capital gain tax, all the taxes, you can find that out through the electronic system. E-assessment, e-audit, government. Ji, Asif. Here, we will produce here the journey to tax administration 3. OECD, they have developed a model, that model 1, model 2, model 3. 3 model says that the what should be the tax journey. Tax administration 1. 1 is the traditional paper-based administration. Even administration should be digitalized. Function, all the functions should be digitalized. Number 1, we are now paper-based. So now if we compare with that OECD model, then 2, e-administration, where analog process are digitized, but the fundamental model remains the same. Fundamental models remain the same. Number 3 is a paradigm shift where the tax administration is seamlessly embedded taxpayers' natural system. Compliance becomes automatic. Then decision making is delegated to technology, not to person. Then this journey is driven by the powerful external and internal forces. External drivers include the global tax transparency agenda and the need for tax digitalized economy, the rise of digital service platform. Lot of platform companies are created. They provide the service to the revenue department. Revenue department itself, they need lot of service companies. So the business will expand. These companies, they will deliver the service, lot of services. The platform. Internal drivers include the evaluation of the compliance management, and from there to their retrospective and the adversarial process to collaborative, real-time, data-driven model. Once we can do that, in that case, we can go for this part. Then we come to the block, building the blocks of tax administration. Building the blocks of tax administration, this architecture of tax administration 3 explains that data management and data standards. This involves from the siloed tax type a specific database to a state and high quality real-time data availability, governed by the robust privacy and frameworks with global standards. Then tax rule management application. This moves from the translating the paper legislation into code towards the future where the tax rules are integrated to the law drafting process itself, enabling compliance by design. Every year tax department makes certain changes. Then you will have to incorporate that law in the law. In American IRS has got 8,000 pages. Since its creation by Abraham Lincoln, 1862. Later on, every year there was a change. Changes incorporated. But in Bangladesh, you cannot get it. There is a law, 1984. Then later on, I think there was a change is taking place just 23. I worked with that committee. You see, our changes in the budget, it should be incorporated with the main law. But it is a separate side, so there is a opportunities created tax practitioners and the taxpayers, because taxpayers does not have all information of the changes in the tax law in every year. So if these are incorporated in the law, that tax law will become more voluminous. But in our country, this is separate. This is tax rule management and application. It should be planned. It should be planned. Yeah, planned. It should be planned because it moves from translating paper legislation into code towards the future where the tax rules are integrated into the law drafting process itself, enabling compliance by design. Machine will do that. It is possible. It is possible. There are many countries they are practicing that. Then taxpayer touch point. because every taxpayer is not educated. They does not know the details of the tax rules and regulations. So electronically, if you make it digital, in that case, through SMS, you can send every taxpayer that there is a change in the law, and that will go to him to message everybody. Everybody will get that. And later on, when he make the calculation, it is easier for him. Easier for him. So this is it can be done, the suite of personalized e-services, culminating no filing system, AI-powered support integrated into taxpayers' natural environment. If we can do that, in that case, it is possible. So the new skill set, again, another one thing is that new skill set. We need the workforce. Workforce evolved from manual processing to processing the high-level skill, data science, AI, governance, behavioral analysis, and cybersecurity, working collaboratively with AI-powered tools. If we use these tools, in that case, it is possible to make it digitalization. The new skill workforce must be involved in the process of manual governance framework. There should be inbuilt system. The automatically machine will follow you. That you have AI will find out your problem, and they will say that you are not doing this thing. In that case, the practitioners, though concerned people, those who will work as a tax advisors, in that case, they can take over this thing. And many firms will be created, many consultancy companies will be created to do this job, providing this service. Because you see, a lot of business has developed in the last couple of 53 years. This is the global implementation. Here I will discuss about the global implementation and case studies. Globally, the different stage of implementation of digital solutions are in Europe. There is a clear trend towards the e-audits and the use of faculty, no, student, yes. Global snapshot of digital tax administration. Countries globally are at different stages implementing the digital tax solution, particularly e-invoice. In Europe, there are the clear trend towards the e-audits and the use of standard audit file. Poland has implemented SAFT, and Turkey has fully digitized the indirect tax cycle. Then Latin America, Brazil, a speed system, and Mexico's mandatory e-invoicing requiring the government seal and validity are leading example. Mexico, Africa. In Angola, they have made the SAFT mandatory, and Namibia launched the integrated tax administration system in 2019. Then in Asia Pacific, Republic of Korea and Singapore have mandatory B2B, B2G e-invoicing. China's golden tax system is a comprehensive platform where the countries like India, the Philippines, Vietnam have upcoming mandatory e-invoicing system. If we do the invoicing system, you see the ferriolas selling their foods here. They generate through equipment the invoice, and this will be linked with the VAT system and the tax system everywhere. In that case, everyday government fund position, it will enter into national exchequers, and mobile financial services, they can be included as a support service. They can provide, because in our country, only money transfer job is doing by our MFS industry. I was the board of Vikas, and we saw that the tax collection, municipal tax collection, VAT collection, lot of things they should be involved, and even remittance from outside, they can, from foreign countries, it will be less expensive. State, it will go to the village, his mobile number, money will be transferred. So money laundering will be stopped, reduced. You cannot eliminate, but you can reduce. Minimum 40 to 50% you can reduce initial. And then later on, when you digitalize the whole economic system, in that case, that is also possible. Transaction, banking transaction, digital transaction, tax collection, toll collection, everything should come under this heading banner. So it can be possible, because we have got the infrastructure now. 2 companies, Nagad, Vikas, and others also working. And we need another 2 or 3 companies, because to do this job, support service, this is basically they will do it for their fee only. But government will be gainer because of the real collection automatically. Say, for example, we are now tax deduction at a source. In our company also we deduct. আমরা কত টাকা কয় মাস পরে এটা জমা দেই? Every month. It should be week, in every week. যে সময় আপনি কোনো ইয়ে করবেন, whenever you make any transaction, then money will go to the government exchequer. In that case, the collection will be faster. In many cases, now the existing system that tax collected, tax deposited, Sonali Bank is the working as the central bank agent. Okay, Sonali Bank, if you deposit that money to Sonali Bank keep that money there, because when this is a free deposit, current account deposit, so they keep it as long as they can keep it. Their liquidity position is better. Their liquidity position is better. They are looking at that. But government money, it should go to the government account. Government 104 account, it is there. Central bank maintains that. Whenever any money government deposit, even the municipality tax, they should collect. Not they should deposit to the private bank. There is a competition to get this money. To get this money, say for example, BTSC, they have got lot of deposits. Okay, they should not keep that. They should deposit it to the government account. The day they get it, and we suggested, discussed with the Mr. Mohit, and he accepted that. And accordingly, from Securities and Exchange Commission, Telecom Regulatory Commission, Energy Regulatory Commission, Insurance Regulatory Commission, Securities and Exchange Commission, joto commission ase, everybody, whenever they receive money, any penalty or any fee, they keep it in their account and deposit it to the private banks. No, you should deposit it to the government account. Why? Government financial management will be much better. Asia Pacific, Indonesia, China gelo, and then e-filing adoption rates. Asia Pacific 2020. Electronic filing rates, which the top performers are above 90%. Armenia, Georgia, Mongolia, Nepal, Tajikistan, achieving 100% e-filing. Other leaders include Malaysia, 99.5%, Korea, 99%, Australia, 93.7%, Singapore, 96.3%, Middle East level, 30 to 80%. This group includes Japan 76%, India 66.3%, and Cambodia 55.5%. In incipient development within 20%. This category includes Bangladesh 13%. 13% Bangladesh. Digitization.
What percentage is the average of the percent of income tax?
Tax rate, this is the collection rate.
Yeah.
Adoption of digital system. Bangladesh is 13%. Hong Kong, China, 12.5%, indicating that they are in very early stages of their digital journey. We are categorizing. We are in that part.
Digital
This is not tax rate. It is a digital adoption of the digital tax.
Direct filing through online.
Have not started Fiji, Brunei, Darussalam, Papua New Guinea, among others, reported to zero electronic filing.
So this is the proportion of tax
Adoption, tax digitalization,
collected
digitalization.
via digital
Yes,
means.
digital. Yes.
টোটাল কালেকশনের মধ্যে 30%
কতটুকু?
বাংলাদেশে ডিজিটাল
Digital.
ডিজিটাল হয়েছে। এখন আমরা তো এখন লম্বা লম্বা খালি টেলিভিশনে দেখাই যে এটা করছি সেটা করছি ওইটা হয়েছে, কিন্তু ইন রিয়েল টার্ম এখনো কিন্তু আমরা ট্যাক্স ডিপার্টমেন্টে যেখানে আমাদের টোটাল ইন্টারনাল রেভিনিউ যেটা বাজেটের প্রায় ধরেন ফাইন্যান্স যেটা হয় লোন ছাড়া বাকি যে টাকাটা এটা তো ইন্টারনাল রিসোর্স থেকে আসে, সুতরাং অলমোস্ট 70 to 80%. So we can increase at least 3 times if we digitalize this. But you must have to, later on we are coming. Detailed country case studies includes Korea, South Korea. Stand out the innovation is the e-cash receipt process flow, where the transaction history from the merchant and send the real time. এই যে ইন্টারেস্টিং, আমি যতই মানে whenever I am entering in this, I become puzzled because you see this is very আমাদের এটার উপরে যাওয়া এবং এটা যাওয়ার জন্য যে ক্যাম্পেইন করবে সে ক্যাম্পেইন মেশিন নেই।
Probably the people who are involved, they don't want this campaign. It might be the case. Because digitalization হলে
অনেক সমস্যার সমাধান হয়ে যাবে।
মানে আমাদের হবে স্যার, বাট
না,
who are you asking?
people who are the owner of the country, they are the people, not the people who are administering the country. They are not the owner. No,
That's why Karim is here.
they are this public servant. Why they are called the public? Yes. Republic of Korea, a standout innovation in e-cash receipt. It is just there are Australia, then Singapore, then Indian case study is there, then Republic of Korea. These are the e-invoicing, e-verification of return, then selected features and audit big data, then enhance the communication and assistance to taxpayers. It is very important. This one is very important, that you should support the taxpayers education. Television apne jodi if you they do not give any advertisement in the television. If you pay tax to make it popularized, in that case government should appoint, and National Board of Revenue should appoint the consultants how to educate the people on tax payment. Otherwise it is not possible. Then Singapore Singapore has got they have got the inland revenue services known as the no filing service, automatic. You will do that in Australia. Through SMS, the notification nudge taxpayers towards the compliance and digital choice of the government strategy. Australia, tax office, Australia is a clear delegation to the tax office, and it may tax service streamline lodging the returns, complemented by them deduction mobile app, using mobile app, a key strategic initiative, the Smarter Data Program, which aims to create the real-time holistic view each taxpayer to tailor engagement. In China, the golden tax system is comprehensive digital platform. Phase 3 focused on the cloud migration, e-invoicing, integrating AI. The plan for phase 4 to become more taxpayer-centric, data-driven, and data by new technology, which a focus on risk detection and establishing the digital government. You can establish the digital government also once you go for this. One department, once you do, then next department, next department, next department, in this way. There should be a master plan. India, taxpayers can view the tax payment and deductions online, improving the transparency, establishment of the centralized processing center, CPC, as the key step in automating the back office operation. Back office the operation that once we can make it, in that case, we can proceed further. Then Russia, the Federal Service, FTS, built a dedicated data centers to create single platform for the tax business. It uses the big data technologies and real-time VAT compliance, monitoring, cross-matching, and transaction data. You can reconcile all this thing once you make the digitalization. Then Denmark, a notable innovation in the collaboration with the financial sector, allows customers to share their tax data directly with banks for loan approvals, speeding up the process and reducing the risk. এখানে you can, once you are connected, digitalized, then share your information can be shared by the revenue department from there also. They can check independently with one department to another. This guy, this number, national ID number, this, then you check this. It can be used. Country cases, India, other system. Other system is linked to savings of $7 billion over 2.5 years by reducing subsidy leakage. এই যে চোরাকার বাড়ি যেগুলো হয়, যে এই যে গভর্নমেন্টের টাকা মারে, তারপর আপনার ধরেন এই যে সোশ্যাল সার্ভিসের টাকাগুলো যে আপনার পাবলিকের কাছে দেয়, এখান থেকে কিন্তু আপনার এই যে নগদের একটা ৬,০০০ কোটি টাকার মতন একটা ডিফারেন্স পাওয়া গেছে নগদ, ওদেরকে দেয় নাই। আমাদের বাংলাদেশের উদাহরণ আমি বললাম এই জন্য, নগদের কেসে এটা কিন্তু স্টাডিতে এটা বাইরেছে। এই যে গভর্নমেন্ট, নতুন গভর্নমেন্ট আসার পরে তারা যে চেক করছে, এটা বের করছে। মেক্সিকো, টু মুভ এ সিঙ্গেল ট্রেজারি অ্যাকাউন্ট, ডিজিটাল পেমেন্ট সেভড অ্যান্ড এস্টিমেটেড 1.2 বিলিয়ন পার ইয়ার। তার মানে আমাদের গভর্নমেন্টের যে অ্যাকাউন্টগুলো আছে টাকা ডিপোজিট করার জন্য বিভিন্ন মিনিস্ট্রির, বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকে 160টা অ্যাকাউন্ট আছে। সোফার আই নো, আমি বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকের বোর্ডে ছিলাম এবং আমি ওটা অডিটও করছি এক সময়। তো ইট ইজ এভিডেন্ট দ্যাট আমি যদি ওটা চেক করি, একটা অ্যাকাউন্টের গভর্নমেন্টের থাকা উচিত নন। যেমন আমার একটা ব্যাংক অ্যাকাউন্ট আছে, আমি কিন্তু আর কোনো ব্যাংক অনেকে পেপারে দেখি যে অনেকে কয় 300-400 অ্যাকাউন্ট সে খুলছে কয় কি এতগুলো হিসাব রাখে কেমনি একটা রাখতে একটা হলেই তো না আপনি যত কিছু করেন আপনি মানে ওটা দিয়ে ট্রানজাকশন করবেন এখন তো অটোমেটিক ট্রানজাকশন ইউ ক্যান ডু দ্যাট হ্যাঁ না ওই তো মাল্টিপল অ্যাকাউন্ট করতেছে এখন আপনার যদি পলিসি চেঞ্জটা এখানে জানেন এই যে মেক্সিকোতে যেটা করছে ওরা একটা অ্যাকাউন্ট গভর্নমেন্টের ডিপোজিট একটা আর খরচের একটা ডিফারেন্ট হেড থাকবে ভাগ থাকবে বিভিন্ন ওদের নিজস্ব ইয়ে কিন্তু এই দুইটা অ্যাকাউন্টে একটা খরচ একটা হলো ইনকাম এই ইনকামটা যখন আপনি এক জায়গায় নিয়ে আসবেন 14 জায়গা থেকে আপনি এটা রিকনসাইল ডিজিটাল সিস্টেম ইট ইজ পসিবল এস্তোনিয়া X road platform built the digital ID saves almost 820 years working time annually. Ghana smart card system helped eliminate ghost workers. Africa and Asia comparison. What it says, a comparison with Ghana, Kenya, Cambodia, and Brunei shows that they have some forms of EID present, but connectivity and digital banking penetration is very widely from 29 to smartphone to Ghana, 88%. This means you have done some work, but connectivity you could not create. In that case, we will not get the benefit, right benefit. Indonesia's transformation program. Republic of Indonesia Directorate of General Taxes has a comprehensive transformation program built in 9 key missions. These include creating the segmentation model to reach the informal economy, developing predictive risk-based compliance model, strengthening the external partnerships of data gathering, shifting to multi-channel service model, and empowering the organization with greater autonomy. Indonesia, আমাদের মতো নিজের দেশ, like our country, but they have developed this kind of things. Part 4. Now we are coming to the technological solution in focus. Which technology is suits for which country? This section provides the closer look at the specific technology platforms and solutions from the vendor like Huawei, Wang, and Servio, which is designed to power the digital transformation of revenue bodies. Huawei's digital, I think North-South University should, and we are also trying so that we tripartite, we should, once we, Huawei has got an office here, very big office. Once North-South University is interested in that case for digital things, we can collaborate each other. We can collaborate. Huawei's digital tax suite. Huawei offers end-to-end ICT-based solution for tax collection, aiming for intelligent upgrade, better service, vitalized economy. Economy ke vitalize karaর জন্য. How to the architecture? The solution built in an intelligent interaction layer, 5G, a fundamental intelligent connection layer network, and the intelligent hub, cloud storage, IoT data center. This power Huawei has developed. So to handle the big data, they have got a huge example. Almost 80 countries they are working. Almost 80 countries, a tax service. ERA, Electronic Revenue Administration, service-oriented solutions signed to provide the higher supervision and authentic transaction data and leading to the cost reduction, it is there, and the revenue increases. Build a digital foundation, cloud, and distributed database, and AI, artificial intelligence. Performance and reliability. Digital transformation places immense strain on IT system with tax filing and e-invoice volumes increasing tenfold or more. Huawei highlights the cases where the strong failure, where storage failure country A caused 72 hours service outage. If you electricity failure, it is a major difficulty for Bangladesh, because once we can provide the reliable electric service, in that case digitalization is go smoothly. Then Huawei, they have got certain risk also. So these are here. And creative supervision, invoicing, risk, intelligence and risk analysis. It is there. Then the problem, the paper bills create massive inefficiency and high cost of governments, business and consumers to complex manual process for printing, transport, accounting and review. If you want to do the review, then transportation and then accounting, it becomes a very difficult job and expensive. Once you do that, this will be sorted out. Globalization strategy. By Wang's strategy involves the global cloud platform with regional hubs, Europe, China, Latin America, and that allows the local standards. The data center process and architecture. It is a technical thing. This is a technical issue. And the main thing that the new technology paradigm, solution categories. Tax technology can be grouped into compliance solution, then insights solution, data visualization, analytics, and the management solutions, the taxpayer audit process, and big data architectures. These are the platform you will have to create and then reconcile. We are near to the last one. The finance section, it applies the global lessons for framework for context of Bangladesh, diagnosing the core challenges, proposing a strategic roadmap and digital transformation revenue system, political and institutional landscape. The challenge of Bangladesh is not purely technical. It is deeply rooted in the political economy. Politicians and the administration, they will have to decide what to do. If someone working in the revenue department, if he wants to do that, he cannot. Whatever channel, if you put the even Major General, Lieutenant General, he will be failed. Person. Historical context. NBR's structure is legacy of Mughal, British and Pakistani rulers, contributing to the rigid bureaucratic culture. This resulted in chronically low tax to GDP ratio and large informal economy in Bangladesh. Political economy of reform. The tax policy shaped numerous political factors, including the need to mobilize electoral support and the influence of elite control and the degree of popular acceptance and institutionalization of the economic knowledge within the state. Any reform must navigate this complex landscape. The national budget, regarding national budgets, we have got certain information from the study of Bangladesh Economic Association And what I said at the beginning, that our budget can be made minimum 3 times, 24 lakh taka budget you can do within a term of a 5 years term government. It is possible. Then it will increase more. Revenue and expenditure, VAT, all these things should be digitalized. Once you do that, in that case, you can monitor time to time. Machine will do. Say, for example, we put something, writing something that we put to artificial intelligence to check it, putting certain questions. In that case, he gives the different view and he summarizes. So you can compare, but this is absent in Bangladesh. And we have just given some things here, the infrastructure, the roadmap, we need a roadmap, the infrastructure, human capital, economic, and large informal economy is high cost for the businesses and adopting the new technology. We should have a roadmap. If we do not do after 53 years of Bangladesh, 54, 55, now what is the age of Bangladesh? I think 55. Yeah.
Finished.
So in that case, infrastructure, human capital, economic, then technical, then governance, then political. Then political. Political leaders, if they don't want, it will not happen. It will not happen. Then construction of roadmap, how to vision and goals. Then assessment of gap analysis. Then resource planning. Integrated, say for example, we decide that we will digitalize revenue department, then other department. So what we will do that. These are the we must prepare the gap analysis, resource planning, then integrated work stream, people participation, then process and procedures, then the content, then technology, then focus, maintaining the clear focus on the strategic goals and reasonable outcomes throughout the project. Recommendation, center policy on consumer and businesses. Consumer and businesses should be center point. Then center policy, then establish a clear leadership. Government through the treasury should provide enhanced leadership, vision, oversight for the payment of ecosystem. Otherwise, it is not possible because he must work as a manager. Not transferring one guy 3 months, 4 months is not possible. You will have to give someone in Netherlands VAT system. They do not transfer. VAT is a separate cadre in Netherlands. Bangladesh, only tax cadre. He works in the tax department, he works in the customs department, he works in the VAT department. He is become one transfers, end of the story. But he does not know the whole backward information. He has no, the tax members, they do not have. Because one person should be VAT in Netherlands, their VAT is a separate cadre in civil service, separate cadre. Clearly, then develop a strategic plan, enhance the treasury's policy and functions, appoint industry convener. You see, industry convener, what we mean? We mean that from revenue department, revenue is a industry, collection is a industry. They are in the cadre service. But once they are promoted to the members, they cannot become chairman. From general administration, NBR chairman is from general. This guy also. He was in the tax department, he transferred to the general administration, then he became chairman. He is a very clever man because otherwise he could not become the chairman.
But the person he reports to, he might be often junior to him in the finance.
Yes, even he does not know, because you see, revenue department, running of a revenue department, it's a very complex. You see, historically, I cannot say everything here. Tax department, Emperor Akbar was the first man who collected revenue system. Revenue system he introduced here in our part. But the British, when they, after First World War, they established this. They formed a committee in 2014, 1914, yes. 19, yes. From that law, then it was submitted to through a committee, it submitted to the British Parliament. They accepted that in 1922. Still, now we are running under the East India Company rule, every rule. So that's why the clerks generated from this bureaucratic system are clerks.
And the nature of the economy
Clerk.
completely changed.
Very simple. The nature of the economy changed.
Because that
We are not
based on
responding
the
to that.
land and cultural
We are not responding to the change situation. You see, Bangladesh, at the beginning, Bangladesh was a socialist country, 1972, when the constitution was framed. Later on, different government shifted different policy. So at the end of the day, 1991, from presidential form of government, at the beginning what I said, presidential form of government, both the parties, like United States, agreed that we will move for the parliamentary system, liberal democracy. That's what is the basis. From that time, things has changed. And two political parties, they changed their economic philosophy. Economic philosophy, market economy. Both the political parties, even Jatiya Party, then BNP, then Awami League. Everybody, these three parties are now in the market economy. So after that change, Bangladesh had got the change, this economy, this size of economy. 5 billion. Can you imagine? কোথায় আপনার 1972 সালে, in 1972, first finance minister Tajuddin placed a budget 783 crore taka budget, first budget. Because we had to examine these documents during my PhD thesis. In that, otherwise I did not know that. You see, from that now it is 8 lakh crore, and it can be done minimum within a tenure of one government 5 years term. One government 5 years term. They can make it 30 to 40 lakh crore. It is possible because there is money, you are not collecting. Everything, informal economy is bigger than the formal economy. Right. So this is my end of my presentation. I think how you Adnan to explain it. হ্যাঁ, এটা বলা হয়েছে এই যে electoral support, the elite control, tax policy making এ যে elite control করে সেটা এগুলা
We have started our digital journey long back.
yeah.
Interestingly, I have noted a point from your presentation. Nepal and Mongolia, in terms of e-filing adoption ratio, is 100%. Country like Nepal and Mongolia. Whereas in Bangladesh, it is 13%.
Yeah.
The
This is not my study. It is ESCAP. They have done it.
Thank you, sir, for a very nice, resourceful presentation. I'm sure it's a regulator and policymaker will definitely look into the paper very curiously It's a very thought-provoking. Your paper shows how adopting global best practices like real-time data integration and AI-driven compliance can improve tax collection, reduce evasion, and support economic growth. The paper also discusses historical challenges, the political economy of reform, and strategic enables like IT infrastructure and digital literacy. You are also brave enough to propose technological solution. Also, you proposed name as well, name of a world name and fame company. I'm sure this is a brave proposition. And you have also proposed roadmap, infrastructure requirement. I think any researcher, if in future they will get a very good insight from your paper. Now we can move to the panel discussion. First of all, I want to start with Dr. Syed, Mortuza, Asif, Ehsan. Yeah, 4-5 minutes.
না না মিজান সাহেবের আগে দেন, তারপর আমাদের দেশিগুলা
আমি ভাবছেন যে একটু পরে ওনাকে দেই, একজন দেশি শুনে তারপরে
একটা মিক্স করে।
He associate professor and chairperson of Department of Economics, Business School, North South University. Could you please give your thought about the presentation?
Assalamualaikum everyone, and thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored, and it's a great opportunity. This is. Thank you. Is that working? Okay, thank you. So I'm not an expert in revenue generation and the macroeconomy, but I will share my 2 cents on the topic of today. So the digitalization is going to be a game changer of our economy, because as you already know that the tax GDP ratio of our country is one of the lowest. It's the lowest in South Asia and is one of the lowest in Asia as well. I think we are competing with Afghanistan in that sense, and Pakistan as well. So that's around 8 to 9%. So this is not just a number. This is a result of a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of public mistrust, and a lot of governance issues. So there might be some immediate, there might be some midterm, and there might be some long-term effects of this type of digitalization of the revenue generation of our country. So there has been a study that says that if the tax digitalization index increases by 10%, the GDP will grow by 0.8%. And from the discussion from the paper Sir has presented, we saw that our digitalization index is around 13%. So we have a lot of room to improve. And this is kind of the untapped opportunity of improving the GDP, which is already very high. It's about $500 billion GDP we have right now, $500 billion. And this is low-hanging fruit. We can do that actually. So also the digitalization will improve the transparency of all the transactional issues that we have been going through, a lot of corruption that we face, a lot of governance issues that the NBR faces. So this will reduce the space for discretion, the corruption, the rent seeking, as we already know that right now there has been a lot of debate about separating the NBR into 2 different parts. Right now, the policymaker of the NBR and the execution, the people that implements these policies are basically the same people. So whenever one person, suppose a police, and he designs the policies and he also implements that, so he will design the policy in a way so that the implementation is easier, not to improve the tax GDP ratio. But if we can separate these two sectors, which the government is trying very hard to do, but is failing in some extent. So if that is done, and in addition to that, the digitalization is incorporated, I think we are in a very, very good shape. But only digitalization will not be sufficient, I guess, because to sustain that digitalization and to make sure that will not be manipulated in the future, there needs to be this policy and implementation separation, I think. So that's one of my important take. And these are the immediate effects. So the immediate effects might be the tax GDP ratio improvement and the improved transparency. Then there might be some midterm effect. Like if the tax, I mean, if the revenue generation is digitalized, then there will be a very rich database that we can tap in. So all the transactions, all the banking information, all the property data will be linked together. And this can help us identify the non-filers and the informal operators of our economy. So, I mean, it would be very easy to detect the tax evasion that is rampant right now. And often there might be the pick and choose, there might be the negotiation going on between the tax implement, I mean, the revenue collectors and the people that are paying the revenue. So these type of evasions can be reduced a lot if the database can be prepared from this digitalization. And also the tax net. So like we have discussed before, that a large part of our economy, I mean, even if we discount that a little bit, according to the report by BIDS CPD, about half of the GDP is not reported in our country. And that is usually normal for most of the developing countries. They have a large informal sectors. So if we have this digitalization, all the transactions and all the property information will be there. So it would be very easy to expand the tax base. So right now, what the NBR is going through is very difficult because we have a large number of people that are taxed. They have the TIN number, but only a few percentage, I think 10 to 20% of the people are actually paying the tax. So instead of just imposing more and more tax on the people that are already paying, the tax base can be expanded and a lot more people can be inside the tax net, and this digitalization can be a way to do that. I mean, even though we have only 40 to 45% of the population that are actually active internet users. So we have to work on that as well. So we have a kind of 55% of the population that are still not using the internet. So if we can improve that in addition to the digitalization, that would be, I think, we can increase our tax base of the economy. Also, the revenue sustainability. So like we have discussed before that the first tax law, I mean, the revenue law that was, I mean, our fundamental law that is everything is based on was from 1922. Then that was improved in 1970s. So 1984, there was another law. And very recently, there is, 2023. So if we think about the first one, 1922, during that time, the economy was completely different. So mostly the tax was collected as a khajna, or, I mean, that was agrarian economy. So there was not the financial sector, there was no bank, I mean, a lot of banks and everything. So that is very, very archaic system. Then that was improved in 1984, but the problem in 1984 was our economy was not that big. And we were kind of the financial aid receiving country. So a large part of our budget was actually supported by the financial aid and different other kind of assistance from different other developed countries. So our tax target was not really that much heavy to achieve. But as the economy expanded, and we right now we are lower middle income country, so we have started receiving less and less assistance from the rest of the countries. Like IMF is actually giving a lot of stringent condition for us because we are not that poor anymore. And that's why the NBR is facing a lot of challenges. because now they are facing the challenges that they did not face before. The economy is expanding and the assistance is reducing. So where does the money come from? It should come from the revenue generation of our internal sector. And that's why all of a sudden, I mean, every year the government is setting a target and the NBR is trying to achieve that. And often only 20 to 30% of that target is being achieved, even sometimes less than that. So I think a digitalized revenue service will improve this the tax generation and the revenue sustainability a lot for for our country. So with that, I would like to just end my talk with a finishing note that the digitalization is a necessary condition for improving the tax GDP ratio and everything, but we should not romanticize that. We should be pragmatic a little bit as well. The tax reform without the institutional reform might it's like putting a new engine to a car that is really, really old and that has a flat tire. So we should make sure the car is also will be working so that the engine, the digitalization is kind of that engine. So to make sure to take advantage of that new engine, we should make sure the institution works properly. And that's for that, we need to make sure the policy making and the implementation of the policy are very robust. Then this tax digitalization, this revenue digitalization will be really, really helpful for our economy. So thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Thank you, Dr. Syed Mortuza Asif Ehsan. You rightly mentioned there is still a lot of room for improvement. You also mentioned our revenue sustainability, and also you stress before making any hasty decision, we should have a institutional reform. Now let's move to Dr. Mizanur Rahman. Are you audible?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
He's
good.
unmuted. I
Yeah.
can see he's unmuted.
Okay. Would I be able to share a
Sorry,
slide?
we cannot hear you.
You can't hear me? Hello, can you hear me now?
Could you
Just a sec. We can hear you.
It is here.
Just a sec.
Oh, এবার হচ্ছে
Hello?
বিজন ভাই আপনার এটা মিউট করা
No.
আমার তো মিউট করা না, আমি দেখছি।
আপনারটা আমাদের এখান থেকে মিউট করে
না, আমি তো মিউট করা না, আমি তো অলরেডি আনমিউট করেছি।
লাইন
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear everything. Yeah, can you hear me now?
আমি তো মোবাইলে শুনতেছি এটা তো শুনি
Can you hear me now?
টেকনিক্যাল
Okay, maybe I restart. Oh, that's pity.
না এখানে এই যে লালিয়ে দেখা যায় কি প্রবলেম তখন তো
John, maybe I restart the computer again.
Okay.
I restart the computer in a minute. Huh?
এখন শোনা যাচ্ছে
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear us?
Can you hear?
We are hearing you. But
I can hear you.
Okay. Should I talk now?
Yes.
Okay, can I share some slide with you?
Yes.
Where is the share? Share, show caption. Oh, no, I cannot see the share button. I actually prepared some slide to reflect some of the things. So what you can hear me, can you?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, if you cannot share.
Yeah, I make you co-host. Please, Karim.
Okay, now would you be able to, I wanted to show some slide I prepare on this purpose. So is there any chance that I can share this slide as well?
Yeah, you can share now.
But I can't see the share option. Okay, I'll do without the that's yeah. Okay, I
Can
will
you
do
please check? I make you co-host.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Fair enough. All right. I wanted to share some slide, but unfortunately, I don't see the share screen here. That's unfortunate, but never mind. I'll try the just normal way. Okay. Okay. If you cannot hear, please let me know, because I have a problem now. Okay. First of all, I wanted. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you, Dr. Jamaluddin Ahmed, for his work. It's an extensive research work. I was looking at when he was talking. It seems to me that he has done a huge amount. He has spent a huge amount of time in doing the research, and which encompasses almost, very many aspects of the tax reform. I also want to thank you, the previous gentleman, Mortuza. Excuse me if I made a mistake, Dr. Mortuza. He said one good analysis that if you have a car, that was a good example. Yes, we need to not only do the reform, but we also have to make sure that the policy is there. So first of all, before I talk about why I'm here, I want to tell you that I'm a data warehouse expert. I have been working in this field for over 20 years, and I was hired by the Australian government to build one of the largest data warehouse in Australia, which contains more than 6.4 billion. What we do, my role was as the director of the data warehouse. It's a company, first of all, it's a company which yearly operation turnover is 38 billion. Currently, it's even bigger than that, 38 billion, not million. So it's a very big organization. And my job was to extract data from different sources, such as Department of Health, taxation, all the doctors in Australia, all the pharmacy, and every single Australian. So my job was to link all the system from and extract the data from there and then transform the data, because every department stored the data in a different format. My job was to map them and then format them and put it into the data warehouse. It's like a big data. You probably know what is a big data means. It's when you actually look at the Facebook or WhatsApp, it's collect everyday data from whatever you do. Everything goes to a database. So I do not work with the social network. I work only with the government data. So that is my background. That's why I'm here for, and I have worked closely with Department of Customs and as well as taxation department. So I'm familiar with that, and I have noticed that Dr. Jamaluddin Ahmed, when he talked about the material, it seems to me that in Australia, this kind of work done for many months, and he has done a great job, and I appreciate for that. Next, I want to say something about what is the current situation. The way I want to make my discussion is here, a few things. I want to divide my work. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I want to divide my work into different things. First of all, give you the background of where you are now in terms of the tax reform and how we can implement do a tax reform, what Dr. Jamaluddin was talking, and what stage or what phases you can follow to implement a tax reform. Then I'll talk about how much it costs, because we talk about tax reform, but it needs a lot of money, and how much money you might need today for Bangladesh to implement a tax system. And finally, I will also talk about what are the law or legislation you might have to implement to ensure that you do the tax reform correctly. So starting from the beginning, unfortunately, you cannot see my slide, but I want to tell you currently in Bangladesh, the tax evasion cost about 6 billion per year. And currently only 2.5 million people pay tax. But Bangladesh has got a workforce of 70 million people out of 170 million population. So you can imagine that you have a population of 70 million workforce, only 2.5 million pay the tax. So it's a very little. And secondly, there are two forms of tax in Bangladesh. Sorry, I made a mistake. There are different way government collects the taxes. It's one of the income tax. Another one is, you call it VAT. In Australia, we call GST. So overall, this figure is not that big because, first of all, out of 70 million population, a large number of people do not have to pay tax legally. What is that number? Because the money we receive from people make income, if it is less than 375,000 taka per year, you don't have to pay a tax. So that's fair enough because it's a little money. But from 375,000 to 400, people pay only 5% tax. From 400 to 500,000 taka, they pay around 10%, I think, and so on. So maximum tax in Bangladesh they pay is 30%, which is okay for a country like Bangladesh. But one thing you have to remember that Bangladesh economy is a very small economy. Its GDP is only $437 billion. Yeah, I think $437 billion out of, yeah, and out of it, 7.5% is collected for the income tax and 3% about for the VAT. So that is the overall tax income. Very little. If you have, sometimes people, nobody likes to pay tax, but you see, without building tax, everybody knows it. The previous speakers, they all mentioned that we need to do the taxing. We need to develop the tax system, but at the same time, what is missing is Bangladesh has got lots of way people avoid tax. This is, first of all, bribery. It's well known. It's one of the corrupted country. Out of 100, it's CPI, or meaning Corruption Perception Index, CPI, Bangladesh 25. It means it's a very corrupt country. I'm sorry to say, 0 is very bad, 100 is good, but Bangladesh 25. So it is a very unfortunately corrupt. And secondly, there are a lot of fake invoices. So people supply a lot of fake invoices to avoid tax. And also there are many underreporting, as I mentioned to you, underreporting. So these need to be avoided. And Dr. Jamaluddin correctly mentioned that we need to digitalize the taxation system. And I will be talking about it more about this next. I want to talk that sometimes Dr. Jamaluddin also mentioned many countries. His extensive research seems to be encompasses many aspects of the tax system. I'll be more straight. I'll give you an example. I'm not sure, excuse me if you like or not like, but one of the best VAT collection is India in the world. They call it the system known as GSTN, or it's known as Goods and Services Tax Network. So this is quite well recognized. They started this GSTN system in 2015, and by the time 2017, they implemented the GSTN system, and it is what they managed to do is 1.23 crore people registered in the GSTN system. So this is remarkable, and this within 5 years, India was able to increase their tax VAT system 50%. You can imagine how quickly they achieved such a big result. Another good system is Estonia, one of the world-best tax collection system. They are so efficient that to fill out a tax form, it takes only 5 minutes or less. Because why it is? Because what they do, their system is all the bank and the other institution, custom office and everything. They are linked. As a result, everything is already filled in. So all the Estonian citizens, all they have to do is to just log on, check it, verify it, and submit it. So less than 5 minutes. Another country I must want to mention because I show two powerful. India is a very big economy, but Rwanda is a poor country, and they have managed to implement tax system, and they managed to reduce their bribery by 80% within 10 years. So we can imagine Bangladesh. I listened to Dr. Jamaluddin. It's a 55 years old country, but look at this. We have not achieved very good result, unfortunately. So if we do a proper tax system, by 2031, we should be able to raise extra 20 billion for the government. So you can imagine 20 billion. You might question how much it take to build a good tax system. I'll give you an example. Just remember, 20 billion will lose by 2030, and this money will be used by money launderer. This will go to someone else's pocket. This money will go overseas and so on. So you can imagine there is a lot of opportunity. And if we build a proper system, we would be able to do much better. Next, I want to talk about how we actually progress. So what we need to be done, first of all, we have to make sure we have a mandatory e-filing and digital payment system. Now, mandatory e-filing, what happened currently, there are, as I mentioned to you, that paper-based, it's no good. So we need to do electronic filing and digital payment. I mean that like in India, if you look at India, they have very developed mobile payment system, financial system. Bangladesh, you have got the infrastructure such as bKash and Nagad. Dr. Jamaluddin also mentioned in his speech, so I carefully listened to that. If you integrate those facility, you can improve significantly and collect tax from people. That's one thing. Also, we need to introduce blockchain invoices, secured invoices. It means when it's a big, large corporation, you need to use the blockchain technology. It sounds like a very big $10 word. In fact, it's not. But blockchain is just a technology. Like before, we used to use just a normal land phone. Now you use mobile phone. Not a big deal these days. So blockchain is also a technology. So it is, once you know, you find, oh, okay, that makes sense. And India uses blockchain technology for e-invoicing. So that is the things we have to look for. So what will happen if we actually introduce e-filing, digital payment system, integrate mobile financial system? What will happen? It will increase the current 2.5 million tax fare to 5 million in just 2 years. And then it will reduce bribery 40%. And that's what you can expect. by the way, can you help me understand? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Because sometimes it's too difficult to understand. Yeah. Okay. Next, next I want to talk about in the reform. What else you need to do? We need to connect NBR, National Board of Revenue, plus all the joint stock companies, as well as Bangladesh Customs and Land Registry. These are the first thing you need to touch to be able to collect tax. Also, we need to introduce AI-powered cost-checking, cross-checking for bank transaction and tax filing. In a way, let me explain that one. When you do any banking transaction at the moment, I mean, I can tell you in Bangladesh, you can steal money as much as you like. It's just like a very poor system. You can actually steal money as much as you like because there is no good system. But you need to connect. I believe that you need to connect all the banking system and a tax filing system to be and using artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence these days, people don't do much programming. The artificial intelligence, and I think there is a big opportunity for BUET as well as North-South University to study more, to emphasize more on that. You study AI technology. This is the future, I don't have to expand that. So that way, we can verify any discrepancy or who is not paying tax and many other things. Okay. And another example is Estonia. Dr. Jamaluddin mentioned previously, Estonia, I noticed that the X-road system, it detects 99% of any discrepancies. So I appreciate Dr. Jamaluddin for highlighting that. It is one of the world best system they use for X-road. I want to go looking at my note. Okay, next, in the same, if you are in start in certain age, suppose 25. If you start at 25, in 5 years' time, you need to have certain number of things to be achieved. And that is what I'm trying to address. You will have to use the AI technology to do the fraud detection. And as I mentioned to you, when I developed the data warehouse in Australia, there are a lot of, I'm not going to mention any company, there are some people who used to, avoid or cheating the system. So in Australia, you pay for a medicine only $29 that time, or $19, or if you are retired, you pay only $4 or $5. But there are medicine which may cost you $3,000, $4,000. So what client used to do, or the citizen used to do, they go to a medical doctor and say, I have this disease and I need a prescription. And the doctor will say, oh, okay, here you go. But that cost about $4,000. But this person go to another 2 kilometers away from that doctor, another doctor, and say, look, I have got a disease, I need to get a prescription. Okay, here you go. So he get 2 prescriptions, can you imagine, from 2 doctors. And there's no way to be find out what he does. That person used to do is sell the second medicine to private owner for $2,000. So he made, without any effort, $2,000 or $3,000 from the government. So now, after we implemented the data warehouse, and we can any doctors, any patient goes to doctors, it will immediately flag when he used the or bought the medicine and how long ago and so on. So there is no way you can cheat any way. So you can see the benefit of digitalization. It's extremely useful, and government saves millions of dollars millions of dollars. So these are the things, important things to consider, that digitalization is not just a talk, but it's also helps many way to save government money, which means our money. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of understanding what we want to achieve in 5 years' time. So if tax to GDP currently is 7.5% or maybe less, because due to the current situation, by 2031, if you implement new revenue system, you will have at least 12% tax revenue by the government, just income tax. And taxpayer base, that is currently you have got 2.5 million people paying tax, but then by 2031, you will have 10 million people paying tax. In terms of money-wise, it will be around $42 billion per year, just the income tax. So you can imagine where we would be. We'll have a better hospital, we'll have a better education system, many other things. I don't need to expand that one. So the corruption reduction, what sort of corruption reduction you will have? You will be bribery in tax collection will drop by 70%, like in Rwanda. Bangladesh is a very corrupt country, unfortunately. We shy to say that, but it is true. Also, the corruption perception index will reduce from 25 to 50. That means we will be much better if we have just digitalization. Just due to the digitalization, that will be the impact. Of course, I agree. The previous speaker told that Rahman told that the policy is the important things too. Yeah, of course, it has to go hand by hand. Also, by digitalizing, we will have another additional incentive. The foreign direct investment will increase by 2 billion per year because due to the transparency. So these are the things need to be considered. They will have other positive impact if you introduce digitalization. Now, the question is, how much is going to cost? This is the main question. We told before that currently we lost about 36 billion tax. We just lost it, it's just gone. But to be able to implement a tax system, we're looking for about, I also do estimates, but it doesn't mean I'm seeking any job. No, I'm too busy. To implement a tax system in Bangladesh will cost you $270 million. Why it is so little? When Australian taxation office paid more than $1 billion and Bangladesh will spend only $270 million. Why that's so small? Even though Australia has got only 27 million population and Bangladesh 170 million population. The reason is the labor cost is very cheap. Your country is very small. The country is very small, and there are many advantages because we live next to Bangladesh, live next to China, one of the best technology over there. And also, there are many reasons when we implement tax system in Australia, we normally get consultant from United States or UK. These are very expensive for advisory or any other recommendation we have to pay. So therefore, it's very costly. But Bangladesh, I did my own research, and I think it will cost you no more than $270 million. And how you get the money from? Where do you get the money, $270 million from? You can borrow 200 million from the World Bank or ADB Bank. Also, you can get 50 million raised from the public sector or public-private partnership. And also $20 million you have to get for the government for whistleblower fund. Whistleblower fund, I will explain a little bit later what it is. But at the end of the day, the question is, what is the return on investment? Every dollar we spend, return will be 15. That is, for $1 you return will be $15. So you can imagine how big return it creates if you build a proper revenue system. I took that figure from India. India, when they built the India GSTN, it is provided 15% revenue. And how much time it will take to recover that money, because we always look for the money spent and how much. It will take only 2 years. So that is the things you need to look at it. So there is a good. I'm glad that we are talking about the tax revenue system, but it is a good cause for developing good revenue system. Next thing you need to look at. Please let me know if I exceed your time. Let me know just when to stop. I'll take a few more minutes and I'll finish. You also have to have some legislative changes. First of all, Bangladesh Digital Tax Act, you have to implement, like you can call Bangladesh Digital Tax Act 2026, to be able to, that will allow you to mandate 100% e-filing for all taxes, that is, I mean, VAT, income, and customs. So you cannot just go and introduce a rule. You have to have a legislative. Somebody has to, legislation for that. Also, another legislative amendment need to be done. It's criminalize manual tax interference by officials. So it will be like a 5-year penalty if somebody do not disregard or breaks the rules. So this kind of things has to happen. Otherwise, you can't have it. You cannot implement a tax system. Establish blockchain-based invoice verification for large taxpayer. Why I'm talking this one? This is an interesting thing. You see, in many places, corporation like Facebook, Google, they can avoid tax because they are big brothers and everybody cannot. People are afraid to do anything about it. But Australia is one of the leading country. What is this small country? But in that case, they have done a great job. They actually penalize. Our tax office commissioner has got extraordinary power. So they penalize both Google and Facebook, and they had to pay the taxes. There's no way to exit from Australian commissioner. And what is interesting, our prime minister's salary is less than our tax commissioner. So you know that. So you need to pay also I don't know what you call it, the NBR head. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. So you need to actually give proper salary to boost the morale of people. Secondly, in terms of legislation, I'm talking about Whistleblower Protection and Reward Act. It needs to be done as well. That means grant immunity to those who disclose that somebody is cheating or something. This kind of thing. So that has to be considered as well, so that they are protected by revealing someone else cheating in the system. Also, anti-corruption amendment makes bribery in tax collection non-bailable offense. That is, if somebody cheated tax, it should not be bailable. So you deserve punishment, and you have to abide by that rules. And also, you have to allow confiscation of asset from corrupt officials. So this is also like, at the moment, we do not do many things in Bangladesh because somebody else makes a call, and so you are free. But anyway, I'm not going to go that area. So legislative amendment required Income Tax Ordinance 1984, which need to be changed. Also, VAT Act 1991 need to be changed as well. And Anti-Corruption Commission Act need to be changed. I think these are the discussion for later, because I'm not a lawyer. I just know that these are the things change. So it need to be talked to someone who is expert in that area. Now, where do we start from? In my view, we should start from Dhaka and Chittagong first. So suppose you integrate 10,000 businesses into AI invoice matching system. So only 10,000 will do initially. And then cross-check with the bank's data to detect underreporting. And also this will increase 20% increase in VAT collection during this pilot period. So this is one of the things we need to look at. Then I expect that by the second year or third year, we should be able to pre-fill the income tax return like in Estonia. So because you are targeting initially only, suppose employees who are salary based, and then also, so these people salary based, so they should be targeted initially, and then their tax system should be autofill. That is, they don't have to do much work. All they have to do is just go to the system, check it, verify it, and submit it. That way you have to do the pilot testing. So that will boost from 40% to 80% of tax revenue from the salary-based taxpayer. Also, I want to say that at the end, we also have to do blockchain land tax tracking. As I said, it's a simple technology. I would not say simple, it's a technology. So we have to do blockchain land tax tracking. So we should be targeting initially Dhaka North City Corporation. And also we have to look at the partners who would be doing that. It could be Bangladesh Bank's blockchain team. Bangladesh has got a blockchain team, and they should start this pilot testing initially. And this will detect lots of fake or fake tax report. Okay, I'm about to finish. I'll just check if I have got anything. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to look at the how the money will be costing go through. Like for e-filing platform, you would have to spend about $50 million, and you can hire people like Teradata Consultancy or somebody else, China or somebody else from another country. But Teradata Consultancy, they build the Indian GST and system. They are the developer, quite reputable corporation. For mobile tax payment integration, we need to, it will cost you 20 million in my estimation. And it is, I'm talking about bKash and Nagod, yeah. And also for national data exchange, I'm an expert on that, but I'm not seeking for that job. You can hire X-Road advisors for this job. It will cost you 50 millions to build the whole system. You don't have to start from the scratch, because they have already got this system, and all they have to do hire them. And $50 million is not a big money, and they will adjust it, adopt it for Bangladesh environment. Also, I wanted to say that you need to have, these are important things, enforcement and training. For that, you will have to spend about $80 million. ACC Corruption Tribunal for that, I budgeted 30 million, and which will be based on similar system like Rwanda model, UNODC. Also, you need to spend $20 million for tax officer AI training. You could use Google, IBM Bangladesh, and for whistleblower fund, it is very important that they are protected, and it should be implemented in conjunction with Ministry of Finance, and for that it will cost you about $30 million. Not a big money. That is what I think it's a good way to go. So that's all I think that's all I wanted to say. If you have any question, you can ask a specific question to me. But that is what I want to say. So I gave you a briefing of costing, where the technology is available, and what is the current issues, and what kind of revenue you might expect. Thank you for listening to me.
You also stressed that digitalization of other government bodies like RJC, land registry system is also necessary if we want to make the whole system digitalized. You have also mentioned, you have also given us example like India and China. We can follow their path. And you have also mentioned about blockchain technology and other technology that can help to integrate the digitalization.
Yep.
Let's move to Dr. Ziaul Adnan. He is Associate Professor and Chair, Department of Management, North-South University. Could you please share your views?
আজকে আমাদের আলোচনার বিষয়টা হচ্ছে ট্রানজিশন ফ্রম অ্যানালগ টু ডিজিটাল। ইনহেরেন্ট অবজেক্টিভ হচ্ছে ম্যাক্সিমাইজ রেভিনিউ কালেকশন। কিন্তু কেন? কারণ আমার বাজেট ঘাটতি আছে। বাজেট ঘাটতি কেন? কারণ হচ্ছে আমার দর্শনে আমরা আয় বুঝে ব্যয় বা চাদর বুঝে পাওয়ারটা কনসিডার করিনি। এবং হচ্ছে যে এখন বাজেট ঘাটতি মেটানোর জন্য দুইটি উপায়: রিডিউস গভর্নমেন্ট এক্সপেন্ডিচার, ইনক্রিজ দ্য রেভিনিউ। রিডিউস গভর্নমেন্ট এক্সপেন্ডিচারের জন্য যেটা দরকার, আমলাতন্ত্রের ব্যয় কমানো, সাবসিডি কমানো, আর হচ্ছে মেগা প্রজেক্ট গুলোকে ঋণ নির্ভর থেকে বিনিয়োগ নির্ভর বাণিজ্যিক প্রকল্পে রূপান্তর। কিন্তু রিডিউসিং গভর্নমেন্ট এক্সপেন্ডিচার বা জনপ্রশাসনের ব্যয় কমানো, এটি ঊর্ধ্বতন কর্তৃপক্ষ, এটি সরকারের পরিকল্পনার উপর ডিপেন্ড করবে। আমরা এখন আমাদের আলোচনাকে রাখি যে চলমান সমস্ত অপচয় অপব্যয়কে টিকিয়ে রেখে আমরা কিভাবে রাষ্ট্রকে টিকিয়ে রাখার জন্য কিভাবে রেভিনিউ বাড়াতে পারি। এবং এটারই প্রেশার বারবার পড়ে এনবিআর এর উপরে যে রেভিনিউ কালেকশন করতে হবে। রেভিনিউ কালেকশন তা আমাকে এখানে ফিলসফিটা আগে চিন্তা করতে হবে যে আমরা আসলে কি চাচ্ছি, যে গণমানুষের উপরে বার্ডেনটা বাড়াবো, একটি শক্তিশালী অথরিটেরিয়ান পাওয়ারফুল গভর্নমেন্ট এস্টাবলিশ করব, নাকি গভর্নমেন্টের পাওয়ার কমিয়ে জনগণের পাওয়ার বাড়াবো। If you really want to increase the revenue, we need to actively think upon horizontal expansion of tax network. তার মানে যারা দিচ্ছে তাদের উপরে প্রেশার না দিয়ে যারা দিচ্ছে না, or everyone must pay tax, যে ট্যাক্স ফাইল করলো তাকেই ধরবো এটি না করে everyone must pay tax। এবং এটা কিভাবে সম্ভব? এটি সম্ভব দুইটি উপায়: প্রসেস সিম্পলিফিকেশন, প্রক্রিয়া সহজীকরণ, এবং ট্যাক্স রেট কমানো। সিঙ্গেল ট্যাক্স রেট, সিঙ্গেল ভ্যাট রেট, সিঙ্গেল কাস্টম, সিঙ্গেল ডিউটি, সিঙ্গেল রেট 5% ফর অল। কেন ইনকাম ট্যাক্স 30% হবে? কেন এক প্রোডাক্টের জন্য 10%, আরেক প্রোডাক্টের জন্য 15%? আবার কর্পোরেট একটি মামলা দিবে যে এটার ট্যাক্স রিবেট পাওয়ার কথা। তার মানে আমরা জিনিসগুলোকে জটিল করে রেখেছি যাতে অর্থঋণ আদালতে একটা পর একটা মামলা ঝুলতে থাকবে, গভর্নমেন্ট সে ট্যাক্স থেকে বঞ্চিত হবে। ইনস্টেড আমরা এই বৈপ্লবিক সরকার সময় we could think of some revolutionary reform of the tax rate, one tax rate, single tax rate for all. However, এটা নিয়ে আমাদের ইন্টেলেকচুয়ালদের কাছ থেকে এটা ডেফিনেটলি কিছু প্রস এন্ড কনস থাকবে, বাট যতটা সহজ হবে ততটা আমরা এক্সপ্যান্ড করতে পারবো। এবং আমাদেরকে গভর্নমেন্ট ট্যাক্স সাবসিডি বা রিবেট এই কনসেপ্টটা রিথিঙ্ক করা দরকার আছে। কারণ যখনই রিবেট একজনকে দেওয়া হয়, এভরিওয়ান ইজ এক্সপেক্টিং, এভরিওয়ান কনসিডার দেমসেলভ অ্যাজ এক্সেপশনাল। আমরা সবাই চাই সবাই ট্যাক্স দিবে, আমারটা রিবেট হবে। এবং তখনই আলোচনা চলে আসে যে কোন প্রকল্পকে দিতে হবে, কোন প্রোডাক্টকে দিতে হবে। ইনস্টেড আমরা এই ট্যাক্স সাবসিডি কমিয়ে আমরা সিঙ্গেল ট্যাক্স রেট যত এক্সপ্যান্ড করতে পারবো, আমাদের এই হরিজন্টাল এক্সপ্যানশনটা তত বেশি হবে এবং ওভারঅল রেভিনিউ কানেকশন তত স্ট্রং হবে। এবং এই ডিজিটালাইজেশন would facilitate this process. কিন্তু মানুষ ডিজিটালে যাবে কেন? হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ইনসেন্টিভ? আমাকে জনগণের কাছে ইনসেন্টিভাইজ করতে হবে যাতে করে ডিজিটালি দে পার্টিসিপেট ইন দ্য ট্যাক্স ফাইলিং। অর মানুষ ডিজিটাল ট্রানজাকশন করবে কেন? আপনি ব্যাংক ট্রানজাকশনের যদি আমার প্রত্যেকটা ট্রানজাকশন ধরে তার আমাকে জবাবদিহিতার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়, তাহলে আমি ব্যাংক মাল্টিপল অ্যাকাউন্ট রাখবো, কিছু অ্যাকাউন্ট দেখাবো, কিছু অ্যাকাউন্ট দেখাবো না। সো দ্যাট ব্যাংকিং ট্রানজাকশন গভর্নমেন্ট স্ক্রুটিনি কমাতে হবে। They shouldn't question each and every transaction government official. Rather than we could think of having a master bank account and having multiple auxiliary bank account. যে মাস্টার ব্যাংক অ্যাকাউন্ট আমার লিগ্যাল ভিত্তি তৈরি করবে, অর্থাৎ বড় বড় এক্সপেন্ডিচার ওই মাস্টার ব্যাংক অ্যাকাউন্ট এবং ওই এক্সপেন্সের এগেইনস্টে আমার লিগ্যাল জিনিসগুলো ইনশিওর হবে। আমরা অনেক প্ল্যাটফর্ম এবং টেকনোলজির কথা বলেছি, হুয়াইয়ের কিছু আছে, ইন্ডিয়ান কিছু প্ল্যাটফর্ম আছে বিভিন্ন দেশ, বাট I strongly recommend not to subscribe to any ready-made foreign solution. Rather than even Bangladesh should go for locally developed solution. Even if it is inefficient, we should go for it. There is a learning curve. There is a learning opportunity for Bangladeshi developer, for the Bangladesh economy. We should self-develop our e-filing platform and other tax digitalization platform. In that way, our data would be secure and our control would be very much strong. আমাদের e-invoicing এর কথা এসেছে, but we need to question the legality of the e-invoice. কারণ আমার তিতাসের সাথে কনফ্লিক্ট হয়েছে যে আমার আগের বিলগুলো হয়নি, কেন আপনারা গ্রামীণ জিপির মাধ্যমে বিল দিয়েছেন? they don't consider. That means আপনার যদি বই থাকে, আপনি বই দিয়ে বলতে পারবেন 10 বছর আগে বিল দিয়েছি, তাহলে তারা সেটাকে অ্যাডজাস্ট করবে। কিন্তু আপনি যদি স্লিপের প্রিন্ট আউট দিবেন বা SMS এ কপি দিবেন, দে উড নট অ্যাডজাস্ট। তাহলে আমার এই চ্যালেঞ্জটা আছে আমার লোকাল সোসাইটিতে যে আমার ইনভয়েস গুলোকে কনসিডার করা হচ্ছে কিনা ফার্দার লিগ্যাল ডিসপিউটের সময়, এগুলো দিয়ে আমি ডিসপিউট লিগ্যাল ডিসপিউট হবে কিনা। আমার ট্যাক্স শব্দটা শুনলেই একটি সাজা মনে হয়, পানিশমেন্ট। Could we think of rebranding the tax system with social security network? J, it is a social security number instead of tax identification number. Could we rebrand it? আমরা বলি ট্যাক্স রিটার্ন, কিন্তু কখনো রিটার্ন পাই না। Where is the return? So we need to practice যে ট্যাক্স রিটার্ন ফাইল করলে রিটার্ন পাওয়া যায়। That means TDS যাতে সবাই করে। একটি ফর্মাল ইনস্টিটিউশন টিডিএস করবে আরেক আর তার কম্পিটিটর করবে না, তাহলে তো সোসাইটিতে হবে না, তাহলে তো কম্পিটিশন আমার ফেয়ার হচ্ছে। তো আমার এই ট্যাক্স ফাইলিং এবং ট্যাক্স রিটার্ন, এই রিটার্নের কনসেপ্টটা আনতে হবে। এখন রিটার্নের কনসেপ্ট আনার ক্ষেত্রে আমি আগেই বলেছি যে সবার জন্য ট্যাক্স, এমনকি দরিদ্র তাকেও ট্যাক্স দিতে হবে, কিন্তু যদি সে ট্যাক্স ফ্রি ইনকাম জোনের লেভেলের মধ্যে থাকে, then he would get the tax return. আমরা গভর্নমেন্টের জাকাত ফান্ডকেও ট্যাক্সের সাথে ইনকর্পোরেট করতে পারি। ইফ ইউর ইনকাম ইজ বিলো আ থ্রেশহোল্ড লিমিট, জাকাত উইল কাম টু ইউর অ্যাকাউন্ট। উই কুড থিঙ্ক অফ দিস কাইন্ড অফ, এটাই হচ্ছে মানুষকে ইন্সপায়ার করবে যে আমার টাকা নেই তবু আমি ট্যাক্স ফাইল করছি, কারণ আমাকে গভর্নমেন্টকে জানাতে হবে যে আমি বিলো পভার্টি লেভেল, যে আমি দরিদ্র বা আমার এই ইনকাম লেভেল আছে। যে আজকে দরিদ্র সে কালকে একটা গ্রাজুয়েশন, আমার সোশ্যাল ওয়েলফেয়ার মিনিস্ট্রিকে টার্গেট নিতে হবে যে আমার বিলো পভার্টি লেভেল যারা আছে, উই নিড টু থিঙ্ক অফ গ্রাজুয়েটিং দেম। কিন্তু এই ডাটা কেন আলাদা ডেটাবেস থাকবে? ইট হ্যাভ টু গো থ্রু দ্য ট্যাক্স ডেটাবেস, যে তাদের ইনকাম বিলো পভার্টি লেভেল, তার মানে গভর্নমেন্টের ভাতা এটাও আমার ট্যাক্স ফাইলিং এর মধ্যে দিয়ে যাবে। হয় আপনি টাকা দিবেন নয়তো টাকা পাবেন, তাহলে তো মানুষ এটা গণমানুষের হবে, সবাই কি ট্যাক্স ফাইল করতে হবে, হয় কেউ টাকা পাবে কেউ টাকা দিবে। আমাদের ইনকামের কিছু সোর্স আছে, যে ল্যান্ড রেজিস্ট্রি, কাস্টম, মানুষ ল্যান্ড রেজিস্ট্রি অনেকে করে না, অথবা এটা ল্যান্ড পারচেজ এমন একটা জিনিস যেখানে সাদা টাকা কালো হয়, কালো টাকা সাদা হয়। আপনার বৈধ ইনকাম থাকলেও আপনি 1 কোটি টাকার প্রপার্টি দেখাবেন না, কারণ আপনার অনেক বেশি ট্যাক্স দিতে হবে। উই মাস্ট রিডিউস দ্য, এবং এটার তো আমরা জ্বলন্ত উদাহরণ দেখেছি গত বছর। ল্যান্ড রেজিস্ট্রি কমে গিয়েছে, ট্যাক্স রেভিনিউ কালেকশন কমে গিয়েছে, এবং মানুষ কেন ফর্মাল রেজিস্ট্রি দলিলে যাবে এতগুলো কস্টিং এর কারণে। কিন্তু আমরা যদি এটাকে খুবই কমিয়ে নিতে পারি, তাহলে ল্যান্ড রেজিস্ট্রি মানে ওই বায়না দলিল, কাঁচা দলিলের যে রেজিস্ট্রি ডকুমেন্ট, এটার মাত্রা বাড়বে এবং লিগ্যাল ডিসপিউটটা কমবে এবং গভর্নমেন্টের রেভিনিউ বাড়বে। অ্যান্ড উই নিড টু অলসো ডিজিটালাইজ ইট upon by self-developed platform. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Can I add to Saiful Islam, Saiful
Thank you,
Hussain
Dr.
Sheikh?
Ziaul Adnan. You have stressed process simplification. You have also mentioned we should go for single tax rate or VAT rate. You have also mentioned government should or we should consider incentive for digitalization that will encourage people to go to use the digital method. You have also mentioned about local made solution that will encourage the entrepreneur and also increase the security of data. Thank you for your insight. Now we'll move to our chief guest, Dr. AKM Waresul Karim, Professor of Accounting and Finance and Dean of School of Business and Economics in North South University. Please share your views, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I must start with congratulating my knowledge leader, I would say, in our field of accounting and economics, Dr. Jamaluddin Ahmed, who I've been personally, I hold him with high regard because of his wisdom and knowledge and role modeling as right from his student life at the University of Dhaka. Dr. Jamal has, as Dr. Mizanur Rahman has mentioned, that this paper is the result of hundreds of hours of, or maybe more, of meticulous research. And you have seen that how the paper articulates the global best practices from around the world. And Dr. Jamal was and still is in one of the best positions to draft such a paper because of his involvement with the financial services sector on the one hand and the accounting profession on the other. Anyway, so coming to the actual content, I think the discussion was very rich. The paper is very in-depth. All of us have learned a lot from it. Digitalization, Dr. Ahmed has not only propagated for digitalization, but he has shown with minute details, the mechanism, the strategy, the way forward with short and long-term goals. And as I said, that he has very first-hand knowledge because of his involvement with the academia, with the industry, with the economics profession, and currently with this credit rating agency with emerging credit, as the CEO sir has mentioned, that we have a huge database of Bangladeshi businesses, large, small, medium. So I think I'll just try to finish everything in a couple of minutes. I think the principles that Dr. Adnan has mentioned is very important, and Jamal Bhai can take note of this, that digitalization is definitely the way forward, but this paper will go a longer way if you identify the principles that why we need to increase tax revenue, because right now the IMF and everyone else is saying that our tax to GDP ratio is very low, which is admissible. It is less than 8%. But I want to draw your attention to certain issues, that the countries like Australia or the US or even India, they have some services. Australia has many services like social security, unemployment allowance, student loan, elderly care, child care, that none of us is present. And there are some of these services are present in Bangladesh, some social security nets, but these are very insignificant in number, or maybe some of them are of large numbers, but the amounts of support are just maybe a couple of dollars a month. So these are very nominal. I would encourage you to, when you import something from the West, that import the good and bad at the same time. Like, we cannot simply pick Australian, say, way of life or Australian quality of healthcare, but not pay enough taxes. We cannot say that in Australia we have unemployment allowance, so I want unemployment allowance in Bangladesh, but I'm not paying as much taxes. Australians don't lie. Australians are not corrupt. So I'm not picking, when I go to Australia, I should pick on some of the things that we can learn from Australia: high quality education, high quality healthcare, high quality of governance, high quality of public life accountability. So what we have seen that we sometimes look to the West and say that they have so much freedom of expression, they have liberty on these, they have social support, they have, as I said, high quality education and healthcare. But we complain about those things, but and then when it comes to our part of the duty as citizens, we are not that enthusiastic. So I think Bangladesh is sitting at a very, not even a crossroad. Bangladesh is on the brink of imminent financial collapse, because if I tell you one or two statistics, currently our debt is about 20, in some estimates, more than 20 trillion taka. And with 20 trillion taka, we have budgeted this year about 1.4 trillion, 1,40,000 kodi taka on interest alone. So if this, and then the current deficit for the next 3 years is estimated to be roughly 3 trillion taka each. These are government estimates, but my estimate is even worse, that our annual debt could increase by more than 3 trillion taka, because, for example, we have estimated that upcoming years revenue collection is going to be 5.6, I think 5.64 trillion taka. But right now, in 11 months, Dr. Rahman, in last 11 months, we managed to collect only 3.23 trillion taka. So during the next few days of June, my best estimate is that this year Bangladesh will again fall short by a huge margin in revenue collection, even fall short of the revised budget. So if our revenue collection this year stands at 3.5, like 3,50,000 kodi taka, the next year at best we would be able to collect 4 trillion taka, and 10 years down would probably be able to increase it by maybe another 2 trillion. So in 2035, if we collect about 6 trillion taka, even if we collect 6 trillion taka in revenue, our budget size would definitely exceed 10, 11, 20 trillion. So you can look at a possible 3 to 4 trillion taka of deficit every year. So at this rate, even at a constant rate of 3 trillion, in 10 years' time, our total debt is going to be exceeding 50 to 60 trillion taka. And if we pay roughly 5 or 6% interest, just 5 or 6% average interest, assuming the overseas borrowing to cost us about 2%, and domestic borrowing to cost us about 10%, which is very, very conservative estimates, would be looking at paying 3 trillion taka, 3 lakh kodi taka in interest alone. So how much tax burden this economy can afford? So we have to look at the distribution. Yes, our GDP is 460 billion dollars, but the distribution is very important. like all these van drivers, all these rickshaw pullers, all these drivers, and all the employees of even say this office. Emerging credit hires more than 110 people, but of the 110 people, maybe 10 or 15 are at a very reasonably respectable salary. Others would be at a like more because they're all young. Many of them have just started their careers. So as a lecturer, we are on a pay of like 3,400 taka. So I'm sure right now, if I was to start, even with the best results of a public university, I'd be very glad if I was paid about 30,000 taka. So I'm not saying that emerging credit pays any less, but the distribution is that you look at banks, you look at our police service, you look at even our defense, you look at our. So it is still true that there are some houses. I think what NBR should do is go by priority. You know, instead of looking at those rickshaw pullers and salon owners or shop owners, we know who are the ones, private hospitals. United Hospital, I can name, and people in this room, everybody is probably more familiar than I am. Private hospitals, some say places like Persona, for example, how much tax they pay and how much money they are making. All these, some of these diagnostic centers.
Beauty parlor.
Beauty parlor. So the diagnostic centers like Medinova and Popular, I think alone, you look at there. So there are indirect ways. I think we should start introducing expenditure tax. Expenditure tax means expenditure tracking. What I would do if I was the NBR, I'd open a small cell to find out, to do research on who are the ones that are buying those 10 or 12 crore taka apartments and whether they are paying taxes. Who are the ones who are buying, who are going, say, buying first class or business class tickets when they go overseas? Who are the ones who are investing high stakes? So I think we have to find out creative ways of augmenting revenue collection, but we should not. I don't think we should not aim at collecting revenue by punishing. Like, if we increase this year's, one of the things they did was turnover tax. So everyone, if you comply, then I mean it put the taxpayers in a situation of you have to either take the penalty of paying high taxes or you have to be corrupt. You have to find out corrupt means, because if you report your sales, then 1% on sales is huge. So and all these there's another sector we all always say and hear right from our student life about the sweet mishti dukans, the shops who sell. Most of them don't pay any taxes. I was trying to find out some jobs for North South University as late as last night, like some printing jobs, making these bags and other things for our upcoming conference. And every vendor is offering that you don't have to pay VAT. You just pay cash. We don't. So I think that's the
Once you digitalize, then
so if you digitalize, the benefit is, it's true. I'd go for digitalization. The benefit would be uniform, as Dr. Ehsan said that, and also Dr. Jamal said that it would make it more uniform. So more people would be paying taxes, similar to your horizontal expansion, and the burden would be shared. So if we still collect about 5 trillion taka or even 10 trillion taka, it would be shared by more people. But first our priority should be to tax the ones who are stealing our public money. I want to finish with just one example or two examples of one of my own friends who was in a very high position in Texas. He once showed, one day he showed to a party a briefcase. He actually physically showed. He said that, look, this group, I don't want to mention the name of the group, but one of the groups who sell atta, maida, suji and all those, that they gave me 50 bhori of gold and 50 lakh taka just in this. So he showed our friend. So he was late to come to a get together, and he said that was the reason why he was late, because he just came from the client. So with that level of bribery, if someone pays you 50 bhori gold and 50 lakh taka, why more? So how much they have to deceive the exchequer? when would you pay 1 crore taka or 2 crore taka in bribes, and how much you have to save. So I think we have to find creative ways, and curbing corruption should be another priority, and also efficiency, because we lose about 20% on efficiency alone, then maybe another 20% on corruption. So I think using those, we have to make a more realistic assessment as to what should be the size of the budget. And based on that, we should find out more efficient ways of collecting that tax. But thank you for this very, very rich, very academic discussion. This is, you mentioned that the first of its kind, but it's also first of its kind for us to see that outside of universities, that there are people, there are organizations who, for no immediate, no commercial benefit, we are not collecting any
No.
any tickets for listening to this very rich, very in-depth analysis of, and also very good learning for all four of us from North-South University. We are in the School of Business and Economics. So it's very much our field. We need to learn and be up to date on what's going on in the country, what's going on in the revenue system. And this is the perfect timing. And emerging credit, I thank and acknowledge emerging credit for extending that opportunity, and we look forward to more of this kind of discussions at North-South and as well as here at Emerging Credit. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, Dr. Waresul Karim. Thank you, sir. I have taken a note. I think probably this first of its kind as well. Expenditure tax. And sure, I'll tell my team to make some sort of research in this about this. They've also mentioned about income inequality, poor social safety net, and also mentioned that we need to find creative ways to collect tax, and we will also have to have realistic assessment of what should be the actual budget size. Thank you.